MTV, the channel we all loved. Have you ever wondered where did it all go wrong for MTV? It's a little depressing to see the failure of the network that once entertained thousands of users across the globe. But hey, it happened. Viewers no longer see any value in this network. And in case you have questions related to that, I'm delighted to say that I've got all the answers, so keep watching to find out. Hello everyone, welcome to another brand new video on my YouTube channel. Contrary to what you would expect, today's video won't be a motivating one like we usually do, where we get to talk about something that was built from scratch to how it became huge. Actually, it's the opposite. We'll talk about how MTV went from being everyone's favorite channel to one that is now criticized. Call it the downfall of MTV, if you may. Everyone's looking for an answer to just one question: what went wrong with MTV? So, without further ado, let's get into it. On August 1st, 1981, MTV aired its debut segment, which featured a rocket taking off and an astronaut planting the MTV flag on the moon's surface. It was a good beginning to introduce the world to this new channel, which would gain enormous popularity over the next 20 to 30 years. Only certain regions of New Jersey broadcasted their opening segment. "Video Killed the Radio Star" by the Buggles was the opening track played on MTV when it first launched. Since they only played music videos every day for the first 6 years, this channel quickly became everyone's favorite. Even if they weren't music videos, everything played on this station was related to the music industry. People often say that they long for the days when MTV only played music. Let me just say, to recall that time, these people must be 40 years old or older. It has been a while since MTV only played music. As a result of MTV, all the musicians developed an interest in making music videos, which helped the channel become extremely well known at a time when music videos were almost unknown. The artists had discovered a method for getting their work out to the audience. MTV played the same videos repeatedly throughout the early years of the network, since there weren't many other options. But as time went on, more artists began making music videos for their singles and albums. In the 1980s, MTV's sole diversion from music videos was for video jockeys to introduce songs, provide context for them, or share news about the music business. Then MTV unveiled a novel idea by simultaneously broadcasting radio and television programs. Even their TV shows were related to music. The first few shows the channel launched were Fast Forward, Heavy Metal Mania, and The Cutting Edge. These shows included conversations or documentaries about music. In addition to hosting the first annual music video presentation in 1984, MTV kept expanding. As you can see, this channel used a variety of strategies to promote their music business. The biggest problem with MTV was that they weren't really profitable because they weren't paid by the records to play the music videos. The only option they had to make money with was to run ads. We all know that people wouldn't really stick to a music channel if the songs they liked weren't playing. Basically, there are only some people that like to watch something about a band they don't know or listen to new music. So this was one of the biggest challenges for MTV. They needed views to make money, but that was only possible if they kept playing the famous songs over and over again. And this pissed the people off who wanted some new music content. This is the point where MTV was struggling a lot financially, and it was about time that they did something about it. So they started broadcasting shows that weren't music related. From 1987 to 1996, MTV started playing about 39 shows that were completely non-music related. They cut the network in half and only had about 56% of the shows that were still related to music. Some of the viewers at this point wanted MTV to go back to the way it was and play music videos only. So they launched a new channel, MTV2, that was completely centered on playing music. But the number of audiences who wanted this wasn't big enough to keep it running, so obviously it was a big failure. This led MTV to focus more on non-music related shows. So from 1997 to 2008, about 65% of the shows were not about music. They had reality TV shows, with some animated shows, and to be honest, MTV invented reality TV when they launched a show where 6 random people that they selected lived together. MTV, which later turned into TRL, started killing it with its new shows, and you could say that TRL was literally ruling the TV industry with so many different show ideas, such as The Tom Green Show, Jackass, High School Stories, etc. I mean, you could say that MTV gave ideas to the new content creators on YouTube through so much success and amazing ideas. The shows weren't about music at all, which made them distant from the music industry. Actually, MTV gave up on the music because they had so much more in other niches. MTV was considered the biggest entertainment industry, so this made the old people hate it because they still remembered the old MTV, which was no more. We know that music isn't just about different tunes and everything, it is about personality. So they gave the artists a platform to talk about themselves, how they relate to their fans, or why they dress like that, etc. After 2008, 95% of shows on MTV were non-music related shows, which meant only 5% of the shows were still related to the music. The TRL peak didn't last very long, and it was about time that the ratings and views started to drop drastically. Maybe it's because at times things get outdated over time, and it was the time when TRL had lost its fame. MTV finally killed TRL in 2008. However, MTV still had some shows that were going on, and they were still making a lot of money, like Robin Big, Fantasy Factory, Nitro Circus, America's Best Dancers, etc. This was the time when people started to transition from television to social media and other new gadgets. Just before the transition was completed, MTV launched some record-breaking shows like Jersey Shore, where a bunch of teenagers were put together in a vacation house and it was legit and all drama. From them being out at parties to having romantic affairs around the house. It was too hot to handle of that day with an average view of 5 million. They created about 6 seasons of this show. On the other hand, they had another ongoing show which is still going on, called Catfish. This shows mainly people pretending to be someone else on social media and then going on dates. This allowed us to capture the amazing reactions of people. The emotions ranged from being sad to angry to trying to make it work out. At times, there were fights between the two people, but I mean, it was bringing them cash, so yeah. In 2011, another record was broken when Beyoncé announced on VMA that she was pregnant. This literally took the world by storm. The most tweets per second were also recorded at the same time. Even though everything seemed fine, MTV had lost its identity. It even changed its branding from MTV Music Television to only MTV. So in 2010, MTV wasn't really about music. They were about making money. So they promoted pop culture because most of the audience wanted it. But at this point, it was unnecessary because other apps like YouTube and Spotify had already been introduced, allowing people to easily watch all the music videos they wanted. The fact that MTV didn't pay anyone made it preferable for musicians to focus their efforts on social media promotion, which would eventually direct users to streaming services that pay the artist when those users listen to their music. With the transmission of money-making programs in 2020, MTV tried a different strategy. The only program that is currently helping them is Ridiculousness, since it has a comfort food vibe going on. In conclusion, MTV had lost its originality, and it's evident that they have lost hope. On their 40th anniversary, one may have anticipated MTV to play old music or do something else to evoke nostalgia, but that didn't happen. They haven't even been utilizing social media features lately. MTV has had a successful run, but its demise was brought on by the loss of its identity and direction. That's it for the video. I hope you liked and enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for future notifications. Do let me know your feedback in the comment section. Until then, take care of yourself and I will see you guys in the next one.